Welcome back to a brand new episode of Race to Wrestling. I am your host himself, L. Scott. And one of these days, my people, I promise you, I'm going to put the name on the screen so you guys can remember it. But on today's episode, we're going to do like we do every week. We're going to cover the previous week of the WWE wrestlings, okay? We're going to cover SmackDown from last week heading into Saturday night main event for some reason. But we're going to cover SmackDown and Saturday night main event. We're going to cover those two things on today's episode. And I'm actually going to cover this video that I saw. A very old video I saw came across my desk. Somebody sent it to me, asked me to cover it. And it was really interesting. And I want to basically give you a quick review. We'll walk through it together. Let's do it that way. And we'll break down some of the stuff that he said about, and it's the guy New Jack. If y'all never seen this clip, it's an old clip from the former wrestler New Jack. If you don't remember him, you're not a real wrestling fan. But yeah, it's a video from him. I think it said 1996. And I want to go over and I want to cover some things that he talked about, and I want to walk through that slowly. So we'll cover SmackDown, we'll then cover a Saturday night main event, and then we'll come back and we'll cover this New Jack thing. How about that, guys? Y'all have me for a minute, hopefully. All right, guys. So on today's episode, first and foremost, before I even do anything on the thing, whether it's Saturday night main event or SmackDown or anything, let's go ahead and let's acknowledge something that is taking place right now, and that is the fact that the one and only, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, is showing you he is on his way out. And again, I don't want to, since I know the WWE is not going to give him the John Cena treatment, I think that if you're truly wrestling fans and you have enjoyed the wrestling matches this man has put on, then I think we should celebrate him ourselves. So matter of fact, let's celebrate him the proper freaking damn way. Let's give him his applause. Mr. AJ Styles over here. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Mr. AJ Styles, from Race to Wrestling podcast, we respect the shit out of you, and I just want that to be said and put out there, because, and like I said I was gonna cover SmackDown first, but I'll just go ahead and AJ's match and say, you and Numanasi Nakaraki, I can never say that man's name, but hell of a wrestler himself, you guys put on a show. And it's a testament to true. It's like the last of a dying breed out there, man, to watch you guys wrestle, to watch you guys put it all on the line and do it and make it look so realistic. Even if a botch here or a botch there happen, people expect it. Because see, honestly, in real fights, you look stupid sometimes. You know, I've seen people fight, their pants fall down and all kinds of stupid shit. So, I mean, it's no testament that the botches happen. It's how you recover. How you respond to it, you know, that makes a difference. And I just say those two guys were two true professionals. The respect at the end of the match, I was like, please don't let anybody turn anybody. Because first and foremost, we don't want to see these two feud again for no reason. Even though they put on one hell of a damn match. But so I didn't want to turn on them. So it was like, please don't do it and just let them respect shit out of themselves. And that was one thing, WWE, I give you credit when credit's due. And I'll go ahead and say this, respect to you on that match. It was one hell of a match for me. I don't know how the audience is going to feel. It really doesn't matter what they think. It's their opinion, it's my opinion. We just have our own opinions. I'm not saying I don't respect y'all. But anyway, moving on. Oh, before I even get into that, let me go ahead and say something that needs to be said. To all you haters. Let me speak to my haters again. Let me stop saying that. To the people who disagree with me for no apparent reason, because, I mean, most of the time when I'm speaking, just give you my opinion. I'm not speaking any fact. This is wrestling. I can't give you a fact. None of this is fact. This is opinions. And one thing I people came at me for is I've done multiple videos, multiple podcasts talking about Vince McMahon still owns the WWE. All right, so we're gonna beat the drum beat, and I'm gonna say, if you haven't seen the rumors that have been out there, that Vince is potentially gonna be working with TKO, or potentially even being part of a skit of the show or something to that effect. I've heard the rumors, and I've been saying this again. I am the wrestling Nostradamus. L. Scott, remember the name, Nostradamus of wrestling. I told you then, I said Vince McMahon owns the WWE. They just had to pause this man. Because this is what happened. They told Vince McMahon this. They said, Vince McMahon, you cannot keep this organization and keep your ass out of jail. So one, you have to go bye-bye for a while. You have to disappear. You have to go off the map so people will forget about you. And they said, Vince said to them, and I guarantee you, Vince said, hell no, I'm not doing that. And they said, Vince, if you don't want to go to jail and then lose your business anyway, you need to do this. And so what they did, they devised this plan. And I've been saying this, and this is proven to be true. Can't say this is the reasoning, but ain't this ironic? Okay? But they said, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll put this organization, TKO, in the middle of this, and we'll say they purchased it from you. You had to sell it. And you go off into the sunset. But these people are so stupid when they're watching it, talking about us as the fan. We're going to keep your son-in-law like y'all don't have Sunday dinners together, okay, at the helm. We're going to let his wife, who is your daughter, still be a part of the organization. Not only have her own podcast that's associated with it, not only is this have a part of damn near every pay-per-view that they have, they said, no, this woman's going to be here on a day-to-day basis and she's still going to represent the WWE, but you can't be a part of it, and don't you talk to them about it when you at home. Yes. And Vince said, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Come on. We're not stupid people. Okay? No, they told Vince this is a PR move. So let me tell you, for all you people in the back that don't know what's happening and what's going on. They told Vince, go bye-bye for 2 years. 3 years, go away. This is what we'll do. We'll have Triple H run it in the ground. But we'll make a shit ton of money because we'll get those dumb Saudis over there to pay a shit ton of money for a watered-down product. And what we'll do is we'll run it in there so bad that by the end of it, the fans will be begging for Vince to come back. And then what we'll do a little teaser. Hey, Vince may be coming back, baby. And then they said, read the comment section. Let's see what the posts of the people are saying. And honestly, people, on those posts that I've seen, I looked at the posts of it. People are saying it just like I knew that they would. Because this has all been a plan. Vince has never relinquished this. Let me tell you, for the people who don't understand how power works. And Vince is a powerful man in business. When you hit billionaire status, you don't take from them. That's not how they go. They don't go away quietly. They definitely don't go away quietly because, let's just be honest, white men, especially not powerful white men, go to prison like that. So he's not worried about going to jail. They're just going to PR his shit away. And that's what they're doing. But best believe this is a family business. The family is not giving it away. You want to know another reason why I know he's not giving it away, Mr. Vince McMahon? It is because his wife is in the Trump administration. You don't think that the post of the man who basically says, I'm going to do whatever I want, she don't go over to that man and say, look, my husband is out here struggling. He need to get that business back. And you know Vince know him because they did WrestleManias together. This is people. This is family. Of course, everybody's conspiring, and I would not be surprised before the Trump administration is his presidential run is over, that Vince McMahon is not back at the helm of the WWE. But let me beat the drum beat one last time for the people in the back. Vincent K. McMahon still owns the WWE and will be back at the helm of it sooner rather than later. Hopefully that sooner didn't sound too crazy. But anyway, let me on to the show. On to this day's episode. Things that I talked about. All right, first and foremost, let's take this out the way. First and foremost, Carmelo Hayes versus, what's his name, Dragunov or whatever his name is, right? Well, first and foremost, let me disrespect the guy. They have one hell of a match. So let me get the do's and the don'ts, the likes and the dislikes out of the way. Again, I am an equal opportunity giver over here. If you do well, I will say what you do well. If you do poor, I will say what you do poor. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and act like you putting out an A1 product every day WWE when you're not. Okay? But this is something you did well. I always say in wrestling, if you're going to be a successful title holder, you have to have an opponent. Someone that is your antagonist, the person who is your nemesis, the guy, especially if you're a babyface, you're gonna need someone to be that person. Now, I don't know if they're pegging Melo to be a babyface or a heel, especially because they got this whole Miz thing in the middle. But I digress. But I will say the thing that I like the fact that you guys have an opponent for him to wrestle. Someone we can sink our teeth into. They can build a camaraderie together. And then maybe one day when both of them are sitting at a higher level of championship, that these two guys will say, hey, they've been battling with each other since the U.S. title days. So I will say to WWE, good job with that. Now, the only downside is to it, I don't like the person that you did pick for him. And again, that's no disrespect to him because he does a hell of a job in the ring with him. Some people are gonna say he's probably a better wrestler than Melo to them. I disagree, but it's not the fact of that about that. It's not about him. It is about him. It's just Melo needs someone that is gonna move the needle. And I'm just sorry. To me, it isn't this guy. See, first and foremost, SmackDown is already the secondary. Y'all can lie to yourself and say it ain't, but SmackDown is the secondary show. It is the secondary show to Raw. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, you can tell by the way that they prioritize things. The Vision is up there on Raw. That's what they're always talking about, the Vision. They always got somebody from the Vision probably on the commercial. The Usos are up there. They can't stand Jay by himself. But even when Jay's by himself, they got him on commercials all day long. So they have them up there all day long doing it. So that's up there. You can see that's at the top. Even down to the fact of CM Punk is up there. You see CM Punk's at the top. So you see where they're pushing everything. And then SmackDown is another stepsister down there. You can definitely tell that not only by the fact that nobody really talks about them or the people on the show makes the pay-per-view, but hell, when Cody was holding the heavyweight belt, I mean the WWE belt, and who was his opponent? He really didn't really show up like that because they don't really have nothing going on down there. I mean, you can disagree with me, but it's just how I look at it. So I just say for Melo, if you're gonna have him on the secondary shot, that's fine. I get it. Okay, you got to start somewhere. I'm not a complainer to my white people, my white fans. I am not a complainer. If, like you say, if he went from NXT to now he's the U.S. title holder at SmackDown, I'm not complaining. So you can't say these Negroes will never happen. I'm not complaining that he's holding it. I'm just saying this is just a soft critique to say if you want to maximize him as a title, and you want to maximize his title run. The easiest way to do it is to give him an opponent that honestly moved the needle. To be honest, you know what you should have did? And maybe I'm a little biased again because I am a black dude myself, but you know, this is my platform. Trick should have came in and went into that. You shouldn't have had Trick go up there against Type. We all knew Trick won't win it at the pay-per-view. So what you could have done is so we can put some heat on because Trick got that heat on him right now. You should have him go against Melo. They have the history together, the whole nine. That's what I would have done. Have him down there. They would have get a really good opponent, and then going back and forth. Whoever wins that, both of them can hold it in a certain way. Like right now, I would have Melo be the babyface, Trick be the heel. And to be honest with you, I probably had him go head to head at WrestleMania. That's a good U.S. title match for WrestleMania. You showcase the young black talent. I know the fans are going to be excited. You hear them, whoop that Trick, whoop that. You hear when they begin it, you got that going, and then Melo with his I'm him. Yeah, that would be a hell of a match to set up for WrestleMania. So that's the route I would go. But we'll see. See if they go that way. They probably won't, but that's what I would do. But that would be better suited for me than the Dragunov guy. Anyways, I know that. What else did I want to say about that? Jay, let me speak to Jay since we're on SmackDown. Let me speak to Jay. To all my people for Jay. This is not about Jay's match at all. Yes, Jay's matches are boring, people. Yes, I am with you. The matches are boring. The fans are not into it. But it's all in how you put the title on people. I've always said that. Okay? So what I mean right now is this. If Jay's gonna hold the title, Jay should have first got the title at a pay-per-view, at a pay-per-view, not with a Saturday Night Main Event. She shouldn't have won it the way she won it. She should have beat Tiffany around when they would first set her up to wrestle Tiffany, not the way they had to go about doing it when she did beat her. Tiffany is gonna bye-bye. They haven't had a return match. These two could have beat for a little while. You could have put Jade over by having her beat Tiffany. But by making Tiffany disappear, by making Jade lose to her when she's crippled and beat up, and she only, because I know that's the word everybody gonna say, she only beat Tiffany because Tiffany was fucked up at the time. I get it, but that's what they want you to do. That's why I keep saying Jade's run was sabotaged before it even got started because you set her up to fail. So you gave her the title after not being able to beat the real champion because the real champion hurt right now, right? You have her then go into feuds with random people for no apparent reason. 1 week she's just wrestling against this person. Next week she's wrestling against that person. Then, not wrestling, beefing with, but she never really wrestles anybody. And side note, to all of the people who says, she's been champion for X amount of days, but she's only had one title defense. Get her out of here, she's a lazy champion. I'm sorry. When the hell did you book their own card? When did the champ book their own card? When did anybody on the card pick themselves to be on the card? No, they have producers for that, sir, ma'am. Okay? So that means that Jade wrestles when the hell Triple H them tell her she's going to wrestle. So we cannot blame her for that. All we can do, the blame you have to put on her has to be this. To be honest, and it's very minimal, and you're going to hate this because you're going to say I'm making an excuse for it, but I'm not. She looks the part. She's very athletic. She's very believable in the ring when she wrestles. Does she make any botches? I say again, welcome to the women's club, because women's wrestling is botch central. Now, that's no disrespect. I'm not trying to be a sexist person or anything. I'm just saying. The women have a lot of botches, goddamn it. They do, okay? But to be honest with you, partly, and I'm going to tell you why one of the reasons ain't even their fault, why I believe a lot of those botches happen. A lot of those botches are happening solely because of this. The ring's too big for midgets. Okay? These women should not be bouncing off or stretching themselves on their tippy toes so they can run the ropes. No. How about we move into the 21st century and make the ring mechanical so maybe the ring can drop a few inches to women's height in the women's matches. That way they can maneuver themselves better than what they're currently doing. No, y'all being lazy. And I'm going to tell you, it would go a long way. It's a large portion of the reason why the women are not looking well in the ring, in my opinion. It is because they can't do it in the ring that's too big for them. It is. It just does. It doesn't look right. And so it's not me picking on the women, but they do have botch central. But let me finish my point. Damn it. So when it comes down to Jade, I'm not putting a lot of blame on her. You have to set everyone up to win. This is how I know that racism, well, okay, first foremost, before I start, white people, this is the part of the show where the race of wrestling comes into play. So for about the next 10, 15 minutes, you may want to walk away. So if you don't want to hear the triggering information we're probably going to talk about. Okay. But no, the racial part aspect comes into play. I always say this. If it's quite ironic that when the black wrestler is popular or could potentially be popular, they always need to sit out. They didn't make the card. They may be injured. They may need to go take a mental health break. I.e., side note, somebody said that shit to me about I said, where the hell's Montez Ford? Somebody in my comments said, he's probably taking a mental health break. And I was like, when the hell does wrestling, let alone any other business, give a shit about your mental health? That's an excuse. But no, it just, none of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense. Black wrestlers don't get treated like that. When black wrestlers are in play, black wrestlers don't get treated the same way. See, this is what happened when the black wrestlers in play. Black wrestlers has the belt, he's having a little heat. I give you examples, Bobby Lashley, hell, and Sheldon Benjamin, to be honest with you. These two brothers together, both of them, I do believe if they were white, they would be the Brock Lesnar and the Randy Ortons over there of black people. That's what they would be. Because let's just be honest, Randy's not the best talker on the mic. Neither is Shelton Benjamin. Randy's going to be a super duper memorable Hall of Famer that they're going to consistently bring back. He's going to have a farewell tour just like John Cena when he's out of here. Shelton's not going to get that. So, but they have the same type of MO. Very athletic, very rare for their size to be able to do the things that they can do. But a classic again, Shelton Benjamin gets lost in the sauce. Bobby Lashley is nothing more than Brock Lesnar with a milk dud ass head. That's what he is. He's the same dude. He can't talk. Bobby Lashley can't talk. And Bobby can talk better than Brock Lesnar can. But you see with Brock Lesnar, they said, we're not wasting that talent. No. Let's give this man the greatest mouthpiece in wrestling. And then they said, you're going to do that. And then we're going to, and then no. Then not only did we do that. See, y'all got to realize, these are the breadcrumbs to let you know, here's the racism that happens in wrestling. You tell me whether black wrestler was able to take away or to do something as monumental as take the streak from The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar was Brock Lesnar, yes. But Brock Lesnar became iconic Brock Lesnar once he ended the streak. Now, we can lie to ourselves, but in what universe would they have allowed Bobby Lashley to end the streak? It never would have happened. I'll answer it for you. So, I mean, you can see that's where the racism is baked in. So for people who think that things like Jade just isn't up to snuff and she's not going to be great like the iconic women did it, shit, nigga, you got to set her up to do it. Okay? Remember, this is theater. For the people who don't understand that it is theater, I come from the stand-up world. Okay? I was a stand-up comedian for 11 years. Okay? Professionally. As a stand-up comedian, people think that you stand up there, oh my God, brother, you were so funny. Your wife really pissed you off the other day when you said, no, this joke I've been working on for 2 years, okay? This is not something I just thought up. It's theater. I have to act it out over and over and over again, just like it's the first time I said it. It's theater. So when something's theater, someone's pulling the strings. So for all the people who just said the black people wasn't good enough, i.e. Jade's not good enough, isn't it ironic that we, melanated people, are always the ones that just fall short? But you just don't see them getting the exact same treatment. Now, I know someone's going to argue with me and say, you're full of shit, L. Scott, whatever the hell your name is. You people are just whiners and complainers. Go Bill. Man, whatever. You can keep saying it. You can keep saying it. You can keep saying it. And it falls deaf on my ears because I live the experience that you're telling me that I'm not. See, I'm going to tell to people all the time, look, you cannot tell people that they are lying about their experience when you have never experienced it. That is true. I know that we all do it. We all get judgmental of others at times. But what most people generally do is they try to tell me, especially on the racial instances, I'm just baiting with race, and it's other stuff that, of course, it's other things because racism died. And I will continue to say what year, and then they will continue to tell me to kiss your ass and stop being a race bait. But anyways, I digress. Moving on. Let me say something. Let me say something. I was watching. Let me cover the thing about Lash. Then I'll come back to that. Actually, to finish off on the subject that we're discussing, because this ties very well into it. I can segue right into it. It's one of my notes that I had. Lash Legend. Lash Legend is another prime example of, I say, when you're black, the value seems to be a little bit less, or they can't see as the ceiling for you being as high. This is the reason why I know this. Lash Legend fits the mold that we keep saying for every other black male wrestler as well. They bury you in tag teams. So you have the big Rodriguez woman running around here beating on these little ass women because there's not a lot of big women around. But I'm sorry, you have two big ones stuck in a tag team together for no apparent reason down there at SmackDown. What you need to do, this is what you need to do with the tag team division more than anything else. You do not have enough exciting tag teams on the male or the female side. So since you do not, just like wrestlers used to be, you need to have your ass working both shows, SmackDown and Raw. The tag team division needs to be on both shows. It does not need to be split up. People say, well, whoa, there's too many tag teams there. There's too many tag teams that nobody want to see. Now, if you can start producing so many tag teams to where you need to resplit it again, then I'm perfectly fine with that. But what we're not going to do is keep having down there at SmackDown. Because matter of fact, like I said, I'll come back to Lashley in a second. Matter of fact, let me finish out with Lashley and then I'll finish them up. Because it's on the same subject. I want to talk about the MFTs in that, whatever the name is. The Tongas. I want to talk about them, but I'll sit and finish it out with Lashley. Lash right now should be in competition with Rodriguez, Michelle Rodriguez, whatever her name is. I said Michelle Rodriguez. That's not her name. See, I can't remember the lady's name. And I'm just sorry. And maybe I'm a little biased. Okay, that's fine. But to me, no. The woman doesn't speak English well. She doesn't move well. She doesn't have an imposing will. I'm talking about the Rodriguez woman. This is no disrespect to her. I'm just saying, and it probably is only because she's doing it against little bitty people. Okay, so what if you need to do is you need to have some competition where it looks more believable. Lash, Nia, all of them are sitting there waiting. Get them out of the damn tag team and put them back into the mix. And so that way we won't keep having this carbon copy, little bitty, tiny girls wrestling each other in the big people ring, pillow fighting. That's what they look like out there. Just a bunch of pillow fighting. No disrespect. It just is what it is. But I just want to say that about it. But I know Lash is not getting that respect because she's the black woman. The big, powerful black woman. No, we don't want in that division unless you look crazy. And that's going to tie into what New Jack was talking about in that video. Wrestling has always been the way. Wrestling always want black people to look a specific way. If you look a specific way, we'll put you out there. But you can't look a specific way sometimes. We don't want you to be a cool person. The Rock motherfucking broke the seal on that bitch. He was the only one that broke through that bitch. But hey. But anyway, what I wanted to say about the whole Solo Sikoa, his crew, and the Wyatt Six is this. It's the prime example. Yes, those two teams going at it is a thing. I have no issues with it. They're actually entertaining to me to watch. I've been watching Factions beef long enough. They're buried on the secondary show. See, that competition should be being showcased up there on Raw as well, where I know, like, if everyone checks in on Raw, not everybody checks in on SmackDown. SmackDown wrestlers they're not the stars, they're the secondary stars, and you can feel it. I don't care what anyone says, it is. That's what they do. Raw is the primary show. So you need to put them up there because Solo them that's wasting talent down there. They should be up there. The Y6 should be up there, and they should all be beefing with Division. That's who Division should be beefing with, and not CM Punk wrestling 32 men a night himself. You know what I'm saying? That's things that you can do to move the show forward a lot better. Since y'all love factions so much, and y'all have a bunch of them, have them beef with each other in the proper manner. Classic example. You having all these Tongas, but they're gonna be just nameless faces that we're not gonna remember in 5 years if you don't get them into some specific matches. Tama Tonga should be going against Logan Paul right now, or Bronson Reed should be going against Big Tama Tonga or whatever the tall dude name. Why they not beefing? See, stuff like that. Those things would then they will bring in a rivalry to the sport that people can get behind. But I'm just sorry, you haven't CM Punk wrestle the same 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people every night. It's just not working. It's just not. It's not working at all. And that's just my personal opinion. But I digress. All right, so now, but that's just that all that. And then and last thing I'll say about that before we move on to Saturday Night Main Event. Because let's be honest, even though Raw is the #1 show in my opinion they're broadcasting, they're taking it and turning it into Glow Wrestling. I don't know if any of you people remember Globe Wrestling. Globe Wrestling was like all women's wrestling back in the late 80s. Yes, I am aging myself. I was a wrestling fan. So I watched Globe Wrestling because I remember Ivory was still in the WWF late 90s, early 2000s. She was on Globe. But I thought she was gorgeous too back then. But anyway, so no. I'm telling you. Raw is Globe Wrestling because they will have the Vision and CM Punk hang around all night long. And then it's woman match after women match after women match after woman match after women match after woman match. And I'm just going to say, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem with if they got interesting storylines. But their storylines are just as boring as the men's storylines is. And they got a bunch of botches. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just sorry, EO with Rhea just... Individually, they are stars. Together, they are wasted talent. EO should be the Rey Mysterios of the women's division. So what they should be doing is they should be breaking up the Alexis Blizzes and the EO Skies and all them little midget ass girls, put them all in one group together and have them beef with each other up there. You take the Perez and you take the Charlotte Flair and you take the Lash Legends and you take the Baileys and you take you get what I'm saying? You take the Jays and the Biancas, you take all of these people and you put them together. And in that way, everything looks efficient. The women can wrestle properly against each other. And then, too, it looks more realistic. Look, I get it. People going to challenge me again. Man, you kiss my ass. I love this person. I don't care who you love. Wrestling is theater. Acting. It needs to look realistic. I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. No one believes Angelina Jolie beat up 12 people when she's 12 pounds, okay? No shot at Angelina. But that's what they're doing with TV. But anyway, Saturday night main event. Let's talk about the show that was not really a show. I don't think I'm really going to cover when I cover that is it's just, again, there's no competition anymore. The show is just, it's okay, it's a random show. Let's go. Next act up. Matter of fact, classic example. I'm going to say the WWE. Anybody noticed they brought back Star Search recently, okay? And I saw this like last night. And I'm going to put the WWE and Star Search in the same box together and tell you the same thing and say, it is what's wrong with the world is what's wrong with Star Search is the same thing what's wrong with the WWE is what's wrong with the world. You got a bunch of people now that are in control that have no creativity. Maybe y'all people down in the WWE have hired all mathematicians and technical people or something, but you have lacked in creativity for so long to where now it's like, all right, you know what we're gonna do? Open the show. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 7, 9. We'll move on to the next thing. Where are we at next week? We're in Memphis. Okay, go down to Memphis and let's get it started. 1, 2, 3. But there's no nuance. There's nothing changing out. And I'm gonna tell you again, Vince McMahon owns the WWE, and they're trying to crash it out so he can get it back. That's either true or not true. Because if it's not true, then the other thing is going to be your business. Right now, any person who has any level of money, wealth, income, and they love the sport and is willing to put their money where their mouth is, because if I had it, I would do it. I would definitively tell you, they are so vulnerable right now in AEW, you can take them out at the exact same time. It is so easily to be done at this moment because so many people are just relying on the system and the biases that's all baked in. Again, I said on last week's episode, they have a lot of different agendas that the world is running simultaneously, and it touches every aspect of life, and wrestling is no different. You are seeing agendas being pushed. I said this last week about Obafemi. Obafemi is a star. I like him too. Can't wait to see him come in doing this because I know he's going to be in the Rumble this weekend. I can't wait to see all of that. But I can definitively tell you too, you cannot tell me he should be a bigger star than Trick Williams because when that Trick hit that, when that shit comes on, the people move. I do not want to hear there's the difference between an entrance and the mat and the person in the ring. Since when? Since when? Because Hulk Hogan was a showman. That's all he was. When he got in that ring, wrestlers today and wrestlers from before all say the same thing. He's not a worker. He does not put in any work in that ring. But this man is the biggest thing in wrestling. So miss me with the whole fact of it's just an entrance for Trick Williams. No, the man has something that most people don't have. And see, if you're going to stifle it or you're going to try to wish it away, or if you got to keep making negative comments about it, already lets me know you don't want to see him succeed. Because when someone does move the crowd, you don't i.e. say, well, shit, let's see. Let's get behind that and see what we're going to get. No, you people come up with all these excuses. Well, it's just an entrance. But can he really perform in the ring? He doesn't do well. He's just not believable on the mic. Miss me, I remember wrestlers from before. Not every person that was a star was on the microphone a star too. Remember, there's only a handful of the Rocks and Jerichos and Kurt Angles. Because remember, I put the Stone Cold was sufficient. Shawn Michaels is great on the mic. I say he's like A1, but he's not A+. A+ on the microphone is The Rock. A1 on the microphone is Chris Jericho. Shawn Michaels is right below them. The Undertaker's not great on the mic, but he's sufficient. You see, sufficiency doesn't mean Stone Cold wasn't the super duper greatest on the microphone, but he was sufficient. And take that with the attitude and with the persona and everything else and off to the races. That's what you need to do. This man doesn't have to be A+ in every area. So stop judging him based upon that. Just say, I don't want to see him succeed. Anyways. But yeah, I got sidetracked talking about that. Wasn't even planning on talking about that. My bad, people. But yeah, so no, the show was okay. The match between, I'll go say, like I said, AJ Styles and them did a hell of a job, match of the night, and there was no comparison in my opinion. The only other match that I really would like to even cover before I get into the main topic would probably be the four-way match at the end. I think the match was good. Wasn't great, wasn't poor. It was a good match, sufficient. I think they had some highlighted moments in there. Randy, when he's dropping everybody on the table over and over again. You can tell that table was finally set up not to break. Because I've seen them breathe on them bitches and they break before. Trick had a couple of moments. He stood out. Let me say this about Priest. Priest, to me, is... Priest is... He really gets me, because I don't know what to say about him. I think he has potential to be something, but I don't think the persona that he has works. He's not believable in this role. I don't know if this is his persona or not. Could be. It could be how he is in real life. It just doesn't resonate with me. So when I see him in the ring wrestling, I see this big guy, you be looking at him and be like, oh, you expect to see something similar to the Taker or Kane or hell, even a Test. I know y'all don't remember the wrestler Test, but even just something to give me something. And it always falls flat. And that's why when I'm watching the match, hell, I'm watching him wrestle Trick on Friday, and then I'm looking at the pay-per-view. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, for people to tell me that Trick ain't ready to be, or shouldn't be a star, Damian held the title, okay? If Damian can hold the heavyweight belt, Trick is already better than Damian, okay? So then you can miss me with that. Trick already would do a better job of holding that title, but I digress. But anyways, man, something about Damian he misses me with it, but I'm not rooting against him. I'm wishing best for him. It just something missed also. I don't even have any really highlighted moments from his match. When it comes down to Sammy, look, people, I'm trying to get at is this. The match was fine, but how did we get down to Sammy winning the title? Winning the title shot. Let's just be honest. We all just thought the same thing, and we all agree that it should have been Randy, right? For all you people, I wasn't expecting it to be Trick. I don't think they're going to push him yet. I would have been cool with it, but I wasn't expecting it. Randy, I think everybody was expecting it because we are in WrestleMania season now. Rivalries matter now because you're setting the table for the pay-per-view for WrestleMania. And you have to do that now because nothing's worse than a pay-per-view that don't have any build-up going into it. You're wasting it. So I just don't know what the WWE thinks, who the WWE thinks cares to see Sami Zayn wrestle anybody for any title of any kind, let alone the top dog title of it all. It don't make any sense. And I think that's, to me, I think that was the most letdown of the night. Is like, so now we gotta watch next week, we gotta watch a match between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. I don't want to see that at all. I really don't. So that's just my complaint about it. Again, I'm an equal opportunity giver. It just doesn't make sense to put him in that match. Should have been Randy. We all know Randy's at the end of his rope. We all know he don't have that many pay-per-views left in him. Or many WrestleManias left in him, per se. So since he don't, man, put him in it. Or put him in that title picture if you're gonna do it. But this whole thing, and if he doesn't want to do it, I get that. That's fine as well. I have no issues if he doesn't want to. I just also, but if he's out there being wasted and he's right there, then that, again, Triple H is crashing out for Vince. This is my opinion. So, but no, that's something I wanted to talk about when it comes to that. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Yeah, so let me close that episode out. All right, let me close this episode out. We talked longer than I expected. I know I said we're gonna talk about New Jack, so we're gonna talk about New Jack on the next episode. Okay, but I appreciate you guys. So I'm getting ready for Raw tonight. We'll cover Raw, SmackDown, and we will take care of the Rumble on the next episode. I am looking forward to this. I don't know who you guys got. So let me be my Nostradamus up front right now. So I've seen rumors Jay will go back to back. Jay's not winning. For all the people who made a stupid ass comment, they're not letting Jay win nothing. Jay's not winning it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my prediction out and say I think it's going to be, unfortunately, Cody. I think they're gonna have Cody win it. If Cody doesn't win it, maybe I can see them doing something like a surprise and giving it to Gunther. I can see some stupid shit like that too. All I know is that the Royal Rumble, especially now being that y'all are so stale, and I'll say this and I get out of here. Being the product right now is so stale. Being that the Rumble is supposed to be, you get 30 men in the ring and you just let them fight it out. Mistakes happen, strategic things need to happen. All that needs to go on. Since you're gonna pitch it to us like that, this is the perfect time to put someone in position to jump out there and to win it and to jump into the title picture. I have a few people that I can put in that position, but I don't want to beat the same drum beat every week the same way. But anyway, I'll leave it there. I won't name names, but I have a few names. But that's it. That's on today's episode. That's all I wanted to cover on that one, guys. I'm going to see you next week when it comes to that. I'm excited. Can't wait. Peace. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, guys.